Hey, what's up, everybody? Hunter Otis here with Tim Uchuk, Simplify to Multiply, the Perfect Week Coaching Program. I actually have Shane Copeland here with me today. How you doing, Shane?
Good. How are you?
Really good. Happy Friday. As Tim says, it's
Hey,
pizza.
same to you.
We get pizza with our kids every
Sounds good.
Friday. Yeah. Happy to speak with you. And Shane's been doing really well. Tim just reached out to me and said, "Hey, you should hop on a chat with Shane and capture a little bit about his experience." So I really appreciate you hopping on with me today, and just thanks for your time. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet.
Why don't you jump in? Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Well, where are you from? Where's your business located? What do you do? What's the size of your team? Just give us a quick overview of your operation and your life right now.
Sure, you bet. So, I own an automotive repair shop in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and we've got a team with my business partner. I about varies between 13 to 14 total members of our team. So, obviously, guys out in the shop fixing the cars, and then we got personnel up front helping the customers out, quality control people, office manager, that kind of thing. So. Um, keeps us going pretty busy. Just over a year ago, my business partner and I were basically this mode where we built this business for the last 9 years, and it's kind of engulfing our life, just nonstop working in the business, and it's just a lot of hours. You've probably heard this before, but yeah, putting in a lot of hours. And if you have a 50-hour week, that's doing really good. 60 hours plus is pretty normal. And just looking for almost kind of a way out. We kind of both knew what we needed to do, but we kind of needed an extra push or some direction on how to get there.
Yep.
We've constantly heard this, and we've all heard this. Hey, you got to look at your business from a 30,000 foot view. You got to work on the business, not in the business so much. That's easier said than done, right?
Right.
Yeah. So yeah. Long story short, was on Facebook, came across one of Tim's ads, and Perfect Week kind of stood out, and kind of started checking it out. And as a small business, it's sometimes hard to accept the fact that you need some coaching or you need some direction. And you kind of got to swallow your pride a little bit and seek that out and search it out. And kind of mentioned the program to my business partner. And then, of course, I talked to Tim, and it sounded like a good investment. And what he was offering sounded like a pretty good deal. It's going to give us some direction. I'm not just telling me I've got to work on the business, but actually giving you some platform and a schedule on how to get there, which was big. We've been kind of trying that direction for a couple of years, and it just didn't work, and tried a bunch of different things, and basically just get to that point where you've got to realize you need some help getting to that next level. It's just being a great idea to work on the business and sit from a 30,000 foot view. We need some direction on how to get there. So that's kind of why we decided to do it. And again, it's an investment, but knowing that it's a lifetime membership and there's a lot of tools in the toolbox, seemed like it was a pretty good program.
Yeah. What's family situation like for you?
Yeah, so that's probably big. That kind of got me thinking this way. Is I'm married. Have got two twins, a set of twins that have just turned 3 in May, and I've got a son that's going to turn 6 in September. So obviously, spending some more time with them is pretty crucial. I heard a phrase not too long ago that kids spell love with T-I-M-E. Time.
Right.
So kids need that, and it kind of hits you. You only have 18 summers with your kids if you're lucky. Just like Tim said. So it kind of hits you pretty hard. You got to get this thing rocking and rolling in the right direction and make some different decisions.
Right. Yeah. So tell me, so you've already kind of painted the picture a little bit of what things were like before, right? So before jumping in the program, you were working a ton of hours, not getting much time with your family. But what were like the main things that were eating up all your time? Like lay that out. What was eating up all your time and causing a lot of stress before you jumped in and started working with him?
Yeah, so probably the same type of situation a lot of business owners have is you're so in the business, you're
Mhm.
tied to every aspect. Everybody relies just on you, and you truly become the bottleneck. So if you leave and you come back, you got a bunch more work you've got to do. So instead of enjoying vacation, you come back from vacation super stressed with
Yeah.
twice as much work. Um, so that's a big thing is just, we're working in the business so much and everybody relies just solely on you. You've got to, you've got to learn to make that pivot and that switch. And like, okay, we've got to get ourselves fixed. We've got to, and you can only take your business so far, if you're working in the business. That was another realization.
Right.
Um, you know, most business owners got a pretty solid mind, right? But you got to make that switch into becoming a more of a leader than just being able to run everything. It can't just rely on you. And Tim's, obviously big on and gives some good direction on how to do that. That's a big um, that's a big thing is realizing that at some point in time, I'm only going to grow a business to a certain point by myself. I've got to get some pretty strong team members in here, and I've got to delegate and dispatch my workload to them and give them some opportunity. So it's not just bottlenecking at us, at the
Right.
business owners. And
So your people have tasks to do, but then in order to do those tasks properly or up to par, they constantly have to come and ask you a million questions on how to do this or approve this decision. Can we do it that way? And you're saying yes and no to like everything.
correct. Yep. And it's that $10 task thing, right? Like, why am I involved in this decision on this little decision? You guys can figure this out. And it's on me. I'm the enabler. I'm enabling them to come to me. So just again, changing that mindset and getting myself out of those $10 tasks and giving them some empowerment to make those decisions. So you're not so much tied to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So jump into that. So if that's the type of stuff that you have been fixing, how did you fix that? And where did you really get the value out of working with Tim in doing so?
Sure. I think it's an ongoing process. The value I would say probably comes for me through Trello. So anytime I see, I try to document everything that I do and put a one resource out there where my team, instead of asking me, how do you do this? How do you do that? Because some of these things they might only do once a month. I don't expect them to remember everything.
Sure.
But have a resource where they can go to, hey, before you ask Shane, if he's not around, what do I do? Well, I got to go here. I got to check this out first. And that's whether it's a technician in the shop or a service advisor up front. If Shane's not here, what do I do? And that's what we're trying to get our team to that point, and that's coming along really well. Light years from where it used to be. So
you have a place where you've captured those instructions, like a place for them to go and get that information.
correct.
Aside,
Yep.
outside of asking you directly.
Correct. Yep. And it's trying to, put your thoughts and brain power on paper. Really, is what it is.
Yeah.
Versus keeping it all up here and let us bottleneck when it comes here. Let's just put it somewhere else,
Right.
Where they can find it and easily tackle that situation. Yeah.
Right. So you already said it once, but how many hours were you working before? How many hours are you working now? And what percentage of those hours now is spent on the business versus in the business? What do you think?
Yeah, great question. So yeah, like I said, easily 60 hours before. You'd ask my wife, she'd probably say a lot more than that.
Sure.
But now it's, pretty typically it's 2 to 3 office days I get a week. And that's what we call as an office day. And really that's doing whatever I want to do. If I want to have that day with my family, I can have that day with my family. If I want to go to work for a few hours and then go do something else, I can do that. And as far as my time during the week, the amount of time working in the business, yeah, I am there, but working on the tedious or little piddly $10 tasks or being involved in little day-to-day things, it's pretty much null and void. There's not much there at all,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Yeah. So
So it's
for those that are listening, yeah, like what would you say a total is now on a weekly basis that you actually spend working, and then a percentage, quantify it if you can.
sure, yeah. Working in the business, I would say maybe 8 hours actually in the business, physically doing something that's helping somebody else out.
Yeah.
Outside of that, it's pretty much working on the business. The other percentage of the time. And as far as my work week, you could easily say that there's one full day a week I don't have to worry about anything. There's another day of the week that I kind of do a little bit of both.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously I have a lot more free time now than I've ever had to. I don't work on weekends anymore. I don't worry about stuff on the weekends. I come home at night not having to stress about what's going on. So big difference.
So it's like a 3-day work week for you then.
Pretty easily, yeah, yep. And I'll kind of going off that too, just so let you guys know, I plan on taking the month of this past June off. That was our goal. Business partner and I take June off, and then this whole Corona thing kind of happened, so push things back a little bit.
Right.
But now we're kind of trying to push that to October, November with the game plan there, and ultimately, really, what I'm looking for is maybe a 4 to an 8 hour work week is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, this is so. And I want to dwell on this for a moment because, people hear this like, okay, we can pop it in an ad, like so-and-so did this transformation from this to that and blah, blah, blah. And people are just like, well, yeah, of course you're going to say that in marketing and whatever. But like, I hope people, as you listen to this, they can understand like how real this is. Like go from 60 plus hours a week to where most of that time is spent putting out fires and hand-holding and doing things that you're already paying somebody else to do, to now a 3-day work week, maybe less, where 8 hours total is spent in the business and the rest of it is spent with your family or actually growing the company. I mean, that, like, this is
That's
real.
pretty huge.
Like, this is not made up. This is very real. And
yeah, and I would say, if you were to go back year and a half, 2 years ago, my business partner and I were involved in pretty much every vehicle repair that was coming through the doors, which is 130 to 150 cars a week.
yeah,
You're involved in that whole entire process. So you go from that to I'm not involved in any car repair process, and I own a car repair business. I'm not involved in any of that, not a single bit. So it's good news.
What does your wife think about all this?
She likes it, obviously, and she knows the direction that we're going. There's times that she's like, "What are you going to do with your time?" But the joy of this is now it gives you an opportunity to not only feed into your people,
Right.
not just by being, but leadership-wise, you get to feed into them and help them become better leaders, and then it gives us opportunities to look for other business opportunities, and hopefully down the road have multiple revenue streams, and can give more people opportunities for jobs and that type of thing. So
that's an important point too. Like, our employees, as we hire people and have people on our team, like they mean something to us, and they have families and all of this too. And not all of them, but a lot of them often have families. And the more secure you become as the owner, the more security you're able to create for them, which means happier employees, more fulfillment for them, less turnover. I mean, all of the above, right? And then
for sure.
Yeah. You get people sticking around and build their skill sets and just get better and better and better. Really, really cool.
Yeah. You're giving them some great opportunity. Think back to maybe when you were an employee and you were just stuck doing just this one little thing, and how much you really wanted to just have that opportunity,
right?
But you never did. So, giving your employees the opportunity to take over things and take charge and giving them some decision-making abilities, that's huge for an employee,
Right. Right. So they feel like you trust them. They feel like they matter. Their voice matters. Their role matters. Yeah, it's huge. Huge. And especially if things are going better in the business and they're performing better and they're able to have more opportunity for raises and et cetera, et cetera. It's just, that's really good across the board. So like, that's the beauty of it, right? It's like, as you fix these things, it's like everything gets better. Like your personal time with your family, the business, obviously making more money and revenue. Maybe we can talk about that next, but then your employees as well. So tell me about revenue. So how has working with Tim like impacted that? If fixing these things, how has it impacted the scale of your business in the last year and a half since you've been working with us?
Sure. Yeah. Well, Corona kind of killed a lot of it, but we're back to some normalcy now.
Yeah.
But here's the nice thing about this program and what it's kind of got me focused on is, if you're not going to be in your business, what KPIs do I need to look at so I can tell right away if my business is doing well, if my guys are doing well, my team's doing well. Setting up those KPIs where I can instantly look at something and be like, ooh, what's going on here? And they know what they are. We share those with our team. Our revenue was definitely on an upward trend. Here's the cool part is, COVID hit and we had a couple months there of really impacted business. We're already back on pace, and it's August. We're already back on pace to at least meet the exact same sales revenue we did last year, which is great.
Yes.
I'll take that any day. I was expecting a lot worse than that. But it's just empowering our team. We're all on the same page what our KPIs are now. So it's just the business owners knowing where we should be. Now the whole team knows where something should be. So that helps tremendously. Getting there, it's giving them some ownership is what it is.
Yeah.
So that's huge.
Well, that's important to consider, right? Because we do have this COVID-19 insanity going on this year. Like 2020 is just like the year that keeps on giving. With the state of the world and everything that's going on, it's just total madness. But the fact that, that's huge, right? So your hours are way better. You're way less stressed. You have more time with family. You're in the business less. But then in the midst of global pandemic, you're at least on track to meet the same revenue marks you did for last year. That's huge. And with a whole lot less stress.
It is. Yeah. And, July was a record breaking month for us. So to have that after just a few months before that, where we had a pretty massive decrease in sales,
right?
That says something for our team. That says something about the processes that we have set up, that we're ready to succeed is, just not giving up, changing your mindset. It's not everybody can have an excuse as far as that goes, so let's get those out of our head and just get after it.
Right. I think I was talking with maybe it was Gunther, and he said something about, when everyone's slowing down is when you need to speed up. Like it's when you need to lean into it and adapt and change and grow. And, what are you going to do? You can curl in a ball and, let it all fall apart, or you can ride the storm and get stronger because of it. So it's really cool. Really cool.
Yeah, that's what we pushed our marketing, pushed our guys, never got rid of a single person. Just pushed and pushed and tried to grow our market share through it. So yeah, it's worked out well so far.
Yeah. So I guess when you first spoke with Tim, like what made you choose working with him over somebody else? If you remember.
It's just got to be the Canadian accent, I think. I don't know. No, the nice part is, he obviously knows what he's doing. I can clearly tell just by talking with him. He's a very, very intelligent individual. He runs a business that he gets my side of the business too, with this truck body business that he does for service and repair.
Right.
So that did kind of right away give me like, okay, well, he kind of gets my business. I explained at that time what I was doing in the business. And why I was doing it, and he totally understood why. And it was just a comfort level, I guess. He wasn't trying to act like he knew it all, but he just gave me some good direction and guidance right off the get-go, and wasn't pushy. There's no sales gimmicky, high pressure sales. We've all dealt with them. So, and the idea that it's a lifetime deal. That was pretty big for me. Our company we spend thousands of dollars a year tens of thousands a year on training and coaching, because we all need it. And to have a lifetime membership to a program that even after I've joined, clearly there's constantly new content and all that. It's well worth it. At the time, I didn't know how much new content there would be. Just kind of took his word for it, and the content he currently had was valuable enough at that time to justify the amount that was spent. And I would say, clearly since then, I can't even keep with all the stuff. There's a lot of stuff, so that new content stuff that comes out. So,
Right.
yeah, you've got to take some of that. Whatever pertains to you, all that pertains to me. I'm not so much in a salesy type business, with needing leads and calling people and all that.
Sure.
But in general, the whole aspect of it still affects my business, and the whole concept still relates right to everybody's business.
Yeah. So how's that worked for you? So, we have there's a few different like features to the program, right? Like you've got the online content portal, you've got new content that he'll roll out in real time, like post in the Facebook group, add to the content portal, but you have your coaching calls with him and the Facebook group, like I mentioned. But what's been the most helpful for you in just extracting that value and being able to just get that return on your investment?
Yeah, and that's a good question. I kind of view Tim's program maybe a little different than some other people. I know some people take it and they just they hammer through it, and they're doing every single thing that he has because it pertains directly to their business.
Right.
This is how I look at this program, and this could be totally different than how other people do. But I'm sure you've heard the term of I just having as many tools in your tool belt as possible to use. But Tim is kind of like a toolbox. I'm going to use that toolbox anytime I can. I'm going to grab that tool and I'm going to use it. I'm going to use this phone interviewing skill tool spreadsheet that he has. I'm going to use this Trello tool so I can set up my SOPs. I'm going to use this. I mean, it's just another, instead of a tool in my toolbox, it's another toolbox in my biz that I get to pull and extract a lot of information out of. I'll grab this and I'll use it. I'll grab that and I'll use it. It's some of the stuff I've never even heard of before. And I'm like, oh, like Trello. I never heard of Trello before. Slack, we were using Slack. Slack's a great tool. So some of that stuff, I'm probably a little different and unique. But it just shows that the program works for about any type of person, any type of business, no matter where you're at. If you've been in business for a long time or if you've been in business for a year. It's just a great program that you can extract whatever tools you want out of it and make it work.
Yeah, so it's a place where you just to go and find resources to solve the problem that you're currently dealing with.
Yeah, yep. And the Facebook group, I mean, there's plenty of people on there that always have good insight. And again, Tim constantly is throwing out, maybe even like the health tracker, just on a personal standpoint. That, I mean, there's always stuff that he just gamifies everything and it makes it easy to track. Just always something new that you can use in your day-to-day operations.
Right. Yeah, no, very cool. Yeah, so I guess for you then, what's been kind of the most, what's been your favorite part of just working with Tim?
Again, this is probably unique, but for me, it's just what's unique about the program is I don't have to, if I don't want to bug Tim, I don't have to bug Tim. If I don't want to use the Facebook platform, I don't have to use it. I don't talk to Tim a ton, and I like Tim, but he has the systems there where I don't even need to contact him. And that's right or wrong. You get out of any program what you put into it, right? But the tools that he has out there, for me, it's a resource I can go and grab and I can use it. And just that alone is probably one of the most useful toolboxes I can get my hands on. Even just something as simple as the phone interview skills questions. I mean, I just used those this last week. So again, it's something I don't even have to personally think of. I'm just going to go grab Tim's interview sheet. Right. I'm just going to use it.
And that's for interviewing new potential employees?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, I'm probably unique there, but it just to me shows that anybody can use this program, and whether they're in it 20 hours a week or if they're in it 2 hours a week,
Right.
um, you're gonna benefit from the program.
Right. Did you, when you first spoke to Tim, or maybe before speaking with Tim, did you have any major concerns before jumping in that maybe could have prevented you from making that decision?
Yeah, it's a big investment for us right off the get go.
Right.
So I wanted to make sure that if this is just a salesy gimmick kind of person that thinks they're going to be a coach,
Right.
I'll be able to tell, and I'll be able to say sorry. I'm gonna call you out.
Yeah.
Because you do wonder, like, okay, it's a perfect week, really? Like, how is that possible? I mean, that's a great sales gimmick. I mean, good luck.
Right.
Then
Right.
when you're working that many hours a week, you're just like, yeah, this probably isn't real. But the concepts that he has are, and he's done it clearly. I mean, the guy doesn't. He lives on his own on his own on an island away from his business, right? So,
Right.
holy cow, that works. So, and again, just talking with him, you can tell that obviously Tim is a normal human being. He's not a salesy salesman trying to grab your money and
Right.
take it. He's genuinely here to help families is what I get out of it. Yeah, you're going to help your business, you're going to help yourself, but you're really helping your family. Is what you're getting out of it. You got one life to live, and let's make the most of it and not work our life away. That's for sure.
Right. Yeah, I know we both have young kids as well. I mean, I have three daughters. They're 6, 5, and 4. My oldest is almost 7, and then his are like 5, 4, and 2.5, I think. So
Yep.
I mean, that's really why this exists, is because he wanted time with his family, and so
Yeah.
not everybody's got young kids that we work with, or maybe they're older, their kids are all grown or whatever. But it's really, really fun for us to be able to see people such as yourself be able to have this time to, it's sacred time, and once it's spent, it's gone. We don't get it back. So to be able to put it in the right places is so powerful. And I'm just so, honestly just so happy for you that you've been able to create this for yourself. It's always work in progress, right? Like, we're not at the destination. Like, it's a perpetual state of improvement, right? But we can be happy in the midst of that progression, right? And in the midst of making improvements. So,
And that's what's great about Tim's program too. Is yeah, you're going to have different stages of your business. You
right,
might have a key employee. Now you got to totally rebuild this whole thing, and you've got somebody in your corner that's there to help you out. You've got resources in the toolbox that you can go back to and grab.
right,
And even for us, our next step is, this is why I'm interviewing. I'm trying to hire another rock star, basically, to kind of take over the store. So that's our next step as a store manager, and we're going to be training him to take over every single thing that myself and my business partner does. So, and then when that's done, well, then guess what? Now there's plenty of opportunity for us to look for another shop, another business,
right,
because this one's run on its own. So I've always wondered how people do that. How can people have multiple businesses? How can people, work a couple days a week and rely on their team to do what they want to do? It just seemed like it was so far out there. But you start, once you make that pivot in your mind and realize that I can't get my business to where I want it to go by myself without working myself to death. I've got to make that pivot in my brain.
right.
I've got to do it. And that's what Tim's program to me kind of helped me realize, is this is doable. I can do it. Here's some steps. He really, literally, it's all drawn out for you. You can follow it to a T. You can tailor it to how you want to do it if that's what you want to do, but it's proven, so it works.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else that, like, any major benefits that you've extracted that maybe you haven't mentioned yet, or anything else that you want to share?
Um, I would say just one of the biggest things for me, and again, isn't all about the different aspects of the program, but it's just the realization that you don't have to work in the business to make your business run and be profitable. And it's hard to understand that, I think, sometimes, because we all hear it. We can, hey, you got to get yourself that 30,000-foot view. You got to work on the business, not in the business. Okay, yeah, great. How do you get there? Right. And he gives good direction on how to get there. It's my realization is it can be done, and it's changing your mindset from a worker in the business to being an actual owner of the company. We're relying on your people to do what they should be doing. I mean, why are we not enjoying the benefits, reaping the rewards of being a business owner? We shouldn't have to work 60, 70, 80 hours a week. We should be enjoying time.
Right. I think we get caught into that trap, right? Of it's like we built this business, and we feel like if we're not there 24/7, like helping everybody all the time, that we're like neglecting a child. It's like like this guilt, like we're doing something terribly wrong, or something's going to break, or people aren't going to work hard if they don't see us busting our butts all the time, kind of a thing. And but the reality is, it's not a child. But we give them that mentality, and the more we step out as the owner, obviously in the right way, the healthier the business, and the stronger people.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, and that is a fear, because that's a fear that we had, is, well, what are our employees going to be thinking of us if we're not here every day, if we're leaving early, if we're coming in and leaving at noon, or today's Friday, I took 11:30 and that's my day. So that's your concern. But after you get going on this path, your employees, if you got good employees, they're going to work for you. You're going to empower them to give them more, and they take pride in that. My service manager said, you guys shouldn't have to be here every day. Wow, okay. I didn't even think you thought that. But if you think that, you're one person that's on board. I'll get everybody else on board.
Right.
What do you think about it? I mean, how many business owners, you go to your local Chick-fil-A or Arby's or steakhouse, is the owner sitting there? Are they serving you the food?
Right.
No. I mean, should they know how to do it? Sure, but they shouldn't be there flipping burgers, right? Right. So we've all got to get it's switching that mindset. We've got to get ourselves past that mindset of, I have to work in the business, and realize that I can benefit my company a lot more if I work on it and empower my people and lead them in the direction they need to go, so they can see that they get the rewards of that too, financially, with their time as well. It's just making that mindset change where you can give them opportunities to have a better career, a better life for themselves too.
Yeah. Amen. So and that's huge. So I think, and this is what I've discovered myself as well, but then maybe you can relate with this, but our people just want to know that they're being well taken care of. They want to have security and an opportunity to grow. And so when we step into that ownership role, there's just so much more bandwidth for us to really properly take care of them. And that doesn't mean holding their hand and breathing down their necks to make sure they're doing their job fine. It's so much more than
they don't like that.
No, they don't like that at all. So really powerful, really powerful. So the more we get into the ownership role, the better care we're actually able to take in regards to our employees and our business. They thrive, they flourish, they're happier, and they actually perform way better.
Oh, for sure. Yep. And it's no different than, I want to improve a process or improve my business, just 1% better a day. Mm-hmm. And if I can get my employees on that same mindset of, what can I do to improve myself 1% every day, you're both winning.
Yeah.
Versus, like you said, having me breathe down their neck and barking out orders and nitpicking and all that, micromanaging. So.
Right. Maybe that's a good question, is how do you, we've kind of been hitting it on it already, but is there anything else you want to add as to how to really help your employees take ownership of the responsibilities that you've delegated to them? Because I know that's a huge concern for a lot of people. How do I get them to think like an owner and perform, like really take ownership of what we've passed off to them?
Yeah. How do you do that, Hunter? That's a good, to me, sometimes it's the individual. Every person, as far as what I've come across, every person is different. But it's also, to me, it's hiring the right people. If you expect your business to do well with a bunch of $10 to $12 an hour people, that's going to be a lot tougher in my business than it is to hire an actual professional that takes pride in what they do. And that's vetting them properly before you hire them, setting the expectations, and also just sitting down with them and saying, hey, this is what I have for goals for you. And then what can I help you to reach your goals? What are your goals? Do you want to spend more time with family? Do you want to make more money? What do you enjoy? What do you like? But that again is getting to be more taking that leadership role. And I think personally, when people start seeing that in you and they see that, okay, this boss or this owner actually takes the time, now that he has the time, takes the time to sit down with me and invest some time in me, and is willing to invest that time. Because time is precious, right? But if that owner is willing to invest in me, wow, that's pretty cool. I'm going to do what I can for him. And they can see that vision. And I'd say they're not going to see your vision if you don't share your vision. You've got to share your vision with your team. Doesn't matter if it's the guy sweeping the floor or your top salesman. They all have to understand the vision that you have.
Right.
And if they're not bought into that, then I guess you've got an issue. But that's easily handled, I suppose.
Well, you hit something big, I think, is because now you have more bandwidth and time and you're not putting out all the fires, you're able to reinvest some of that into your people. And I think, instead of having to spend 3 hours on fixing a car, you can take 2 minutes to encourage somebody. And that, or 2 seconds. And that little bit of encouragement goes a long, long way, because as the owners, we're not so, locked down by all the weight that's on our shoulders, and we can actually observe and be present with our people. It doesn't take a lot of time to give someone some good encouragement, and that goes a long, long, long way.
Well, it does. And just think of yourself, if you're a business owner and you're stuck, and I call it stuck, but you're in the business and you're in the grind with your employees. Really what you become is you're just a coworker.
Right.
You're just with them. You're just going through the daily grind together. And when you get yourself to step out of that role, just like you said, now you have the time. You can feed into them just like you've been fed into by this coaching program or wherever you've gotten your knowledge from. Now you get to feed into them and give them some some knowledge, I guess, basically. So they're learning everything that you have done, and that's pretty cool to have a boss tell you, hey, I'm going to teach you everything I know.
Yeah.
I mean, that most people are like, wow, okay. You can't do that if you're working in the business.
Right.
You don't have that opportunity.
Well, the cool thing is when you say, I'm going to teach you everything I know, but then because you've captured it into a system and a framework and in a database, you don't have to manually be the one teaching every single last person. You can give them these resources, right? And that's cool too.
Correct. Yeah, it is. And that's an ever evolving thing too, for us. Every time somebody's asking me a question and I get it a couple times, I'm like, okay, I've got to get this in the system so they'd have that resource to go to and check that out. And I would never have that if Tim didn't have this system. So
right. So you're building systems and you're building people instead of putting out fires.
Sure. Yeah. And for us, and I'm sure other businesses are the same way that are trying to scale their business farther. You get that down, whether it's in a department or in the whole entire business.
Yeah.
Whenever you scale to the next level or get another location or whatever it might be, you already have the cornerstone set up. It's no different than McDonald's, right? You fry a French fry here in town. It's the same in China. It tastes the same. It doesn't matter where you go. And that's what Tim's system kind of helps teach is you get that process down, for us anyways, get that process down. The next location, you've got that process already there. It's already documented. The SOPs are there. The procedures are there. You're ready to rock.
Right. So tell us what does the future look like for you guys? What's the 1 year, maybe 5 year plan now that you've got these things in place and live in a different world, the way that you see the possibilities of the future, what's the plan? Where are you headed now?
Yeah. So right now, our next big thing is we're hiring a store manager. We went through some interviews this week, and hopefully nail him down here next week. Monday we can lock and get that done. That's our next stepping stone, so we can start feeding into him.
Yeah,
he can be the go-to. And then once that happens, and again, like I said earlier, getting ourselves down to a 4, maybe a 6-8 hour work week. That's as far as that goes. I don't want to work any more than that in our business. The rest of that time, we can seek out another business opportunity, another shop in our area. So that's our goal. Within 5 years, to have 2 or 3 stores. That's our 5-year plan. But I get one going perfect first, and we're working on the perfect week for the perfect shop, I guess. So
right. Well, it's just awesome to see. It's been a year and a half, and this is what you've created in a year and a half. Obviously, it requires work. Like Tim can lay out as much as he can, but it requires you to get in there and make the changes as well. So just want to honestly just congratulate you on the hard work that you've put in and continue to put in, because it's paying off dividends. I mean, huge dividends for you and your family especially. But I guess, is there any final advice if somebody's, say, on the fence and doesn't know, should I do this thing or not? Is it still going to help me or not? Like, what would you say to somebody that's maybe in that position trying to decide if they should take the leap?
Yeah, I guess, now being in it a while, and seeing other businesses the type of businesses that are in this program is all across the spectrum. And every business that you see, whether it's on the Facebook group or on the coaching calls, Tim is helping every one of them. This system transcends every business, really. There's no reason why. I don't know of a single business that wouldn't benefit from this type of a system. I really don't. And it's proven with the number of and different spectrum of businesses that are in the program already. So I just say take the leap of faith. It's worth it. It's going to get your mindset changed. You're going to learn a lot of new things that you can enact in your business that's going to benefit you greatly, that you probably wouldn't get from anyone else. And just keep in mind, Michael Jordan's got a coach. Why wouldn't you have a coach? So.
Right. Yeah, Tim Grover, his coach's name, right? Anyway.
Yep.
Yeah. And Shane, it's I guess, is there anything else that you want to share before we wrap up and I can get you on with your day and your weekend?
I don't think so. I think we covered a lot of stuff. So appreciate you keeping this easy on me.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem. It's one of those things, again, it's about fulfillment at the end of the day. I mean, yeah, we want to scale and grow a company, but we also want to be able to live. And I'm just really grateful that you're living, and just encourage you to keep doing that. And as always, just keep reaching out for help when you need it. And I just really appreciate you hopping on the call today and being willing to chat about your experience. So thank you. Thanks a ton.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, man. Happy Pizza Friday. Have fun with your family tonight. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks again. Yep. Bye.
Take care.